Alright guys, we just pulled in the driveway. See that there's a package waiting for us at the garage door, and it looks like it's our new fishing rod from Lamiglas. Take a look here real quick. I'm looking forward to getting this one. We're going to take her inside and do a little unboxing video, show you what's going on. Alright, let's get into this. The first thing that I am noticing is the really solid packaging that they put this rod in. We have a triangular shaped box. You can see here. Really sturdy design. I'm putting some serious weight on this and it's not moving whatsoever. You know, they have a lot of bands on this the whole length of the box to keep everything nice and tidy. This is a really well packaged rod, and the packaging, as a lot of you folks are going to know, is especially important for fishing rods. These things have a tendency to be bent easily, broken during shipping, they're tossed around, they're mishandled. But this box would be able to take a serious beating without being damaged, so I really like seeing that. So flipping the box over to the other side, we have the packaging list here. Roll it over one more time. We have a call tag. This is if you ever do need to return this rod or any rods that you might buy. Your list is going to be right in here. You can pull that out and take care of business. There's going to be a couple other labels on the box on the other side here, but they're all shipping information and things like that that you guys will receive when you get your own rods. I'm not going to show it for obviously personal reasons, but without further ado, let's get to opening this thing. Finally into this thing that really was a battle to get into in a good way. The packaging really was second to none. I haven't opened anything that was that securely packaged in quite a while, but here's what the inside looks like. Nice bubble wrapped rod. This is the new Lamiglas Noodle Rod. Let's get it unrolled here and we'll do a first look. Here we go, in its own packaging as well. Let me get this opened up. Alright, here we have it. This is the Lamiglas X11 model LX10 LSN, all new Lami Noodle Rod. So this is a noodle rod specifically designed for mainly Great Lakes steelhead fishing, primarily locations where you're going to have a little bit smaller, average size steelhead. This would also make a fantastic panfish, crappie rod, perch rod, anything where you're going to need a lot of length with a really light rod. This is going to be right in your wheelhouse. This is going to be used mainly in Lake Erie tributaries for steelhead. And Lake Erie has a lot of fish, but they're not known to be some of the biggest fish. So 2 to 6 pound rated rod, this is going to be an absolute blast to catch those fish on. You'll be lucky in some of the tributaries in Lake Erie to get into fish in the double digits. Most of your fish on average are going to be anywhere in the, say, 4 to 8 pound range, depending on what tributaries you're fishing in. So a 2 to 6 pound rated rod should fit the bill just perfectly. I have no doubt that something like this, after fishing other Lamiglas rods, would certainly hold up to bigger fish, you know, up into the low to mid teens. It's probably going to give this rod a little bit more than it was designed for, but at the same time, if my other rods are anything to say, this should have no problem keeping up with them. Alright, because we're inside and because this rod is so long, I'm not going to be able to give you a real look at the tip action on this rod. I'm going to need to go outside and give it the reverb test here, but you know, just moving it around. There's a lot of play in the end of this rod, which again is what I'm looking for. I do a lot of really small presentation fishing, whether that speeds down to 4 mil, under a float, or bottom bouncing. I do a lot of jig fishing with micro jigs all the way down to 1/128th of an ounce. They're very small, very light, and you need a lot of tip play in these rods to get some action, some very light, small action out of those type of micro baits. But again, the fish that I'm fishing for, they're usually not the biggest fish. On average, I'd say around that 5 pound mark. In good years, we've had them up to 7 pounds or so. But all that tip play really gives me the ability to work these small baits really in really small increments, make really fine adjustments to what I'm doing. With this being a slow action rod, I can make really small movements to it and let the rod really do the work for me. I don't have to really overwork this rod to get my bait to work, which is another reason why I'm a huge fan of these noodle rods. I've fished a number of noodle rods before. I can tell you just by picking up these two pieces here, this is by far lighter than any of the other ones that I own. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this light of a rod works on my local streams. This rod has your classic cork handle. It's a staple for a lot of noodle rods. Very sleek design. Very well designed rod, at least in hand here. Obviously haven't had a chance to get it out on the water yet, but just the feel of it, you can tell that it's a quality rod. Got the hook keeper here. Really no other bells and whistles. That's what makes the noodle rods so good. No frills. Just go out there and get the job done type of a tool, and that's exactly what we need. Alright everybody, thank you for tuning in, watching this unboxing. Hope it helped a couple of you. If you have any questions, or if you're looking for more information on this rod or other rods in the Lamiglas lineup, head over to www.lamiglas.com. They have their entire lineup online, all the specs, all the information that you need. And I hope you have good luck. Get out there and catch a few. Be safe out there.
There's one.